And what you know, for what you saw, is only half. And also, what you know is what's left is much more damaging than what you've seen. If you think what you've seen now is damaging, you have no idea what you have not seen. And it will, I got news for Pam Bondi or Todd Blanche or Trump or anybody. This is not going away.
James, amid a blizzard of crazy assertions on elections and ice and Greenland, the dumbest thing that Donald Trump said this week was, well, let's move on from the Epstein sexual predator scandal. That ain't going to happen. Only half of what his Justice Department was ordered to release has been released. Some of the redactions still haven't been explained. And frankly, there is little trust in this Justice Department that it would be forthcoming. It's not hiding stuff. Now, I promise you, I would not have said that when Ed Meese or Bill Barr were Attorney General, as much as I disagreed with their policies. I think they followed the law. They just sometimes interpreted it differently. But time and time again, we see how partisan Pam Bondi and her cronies are. Just look at how Epstein accomplice, convicted felon Ghislaine Maxwell has been treated. Now, we can only turn the page, James, on this despicable scandal when two things. Republican Congressman Tom Massey and Democrat Ro Khanna, who forced this issue, say they're satisfied. But even more importantly, when the victims, these courageous women who've spoken out, say they are satisfied. And to repeat, James, we ain't even close yet.
Well, I'll tell you how far away we are. According to the Justice Department, which I wouldn't believe, they say half the documents. And what you know, for what you saw, is only half. And also, what you know is what's left is much more damaging than what you've seen. If you think what you've seen now is damaging, you have no idea what you have not seen. And it will, I got news for Pam Bondi or Todd Blanche or Trump or anybody. This is not going away. It's not going away forever because there's too much there that we don't know. There's so much there we suspect. And once the other 2.5 million pages or whatever it is gets released, or even the stuff that's been released, they're finding stuff every day in this. And they're going to continue to do that. And you wait until, we won't see it, but some version of Robert Caro is going to do a 8-volume work on this. I mean, this story, if you think about it, is utterly compelling, and it fits the public narrative that, elites do all these crazy things and they cover it up and they get away with it. And it's just not going anywhere. There's going to be movies, plays, books, songs, anything you can think of. This is not even 10% gone. They're just, you can't imagine what people are going to find out.
And you look at what the Brits have done, that former ambassador that they immediately sacked. Now they're going and they're trying to bring charges against him. They are not sweeping it under the rug. But right now, what the Republicans in Congress say is but our great GOP members of Congress say, we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll subpoena Bill and Hillary Clinton, who are going to go next week. What are you looking for, James?
Oh, I think this is, I was quoted. So we're going to have literally one of the dumbest people in the history of the United States Congress. It's going to interview one of the smartest people in the history of the United States government. It's going to go so poorly for them. And all it's going to do is like kick this thing into the next century even, much less getting rid of it now. And we only got 74 years left to go. I think Comer is congenitally stupid. If you remember, Trey Gowdy, the great fucking intellectual giant, had 11 hours.
A lot smarter than Comer.
Yeah, and he's twice as smart as Comer. And it can come up to ask the same question 3 times for 11 hours. Why do you think it's going to be any better? And what And if you think that President Clinton is not going to be prepared, well, you better have another thought coming. If the Republicans, they just open themselves, they lead with their chin, and boy, does
Yeah.
Coma have a big chin, and boy, is it going to get smacked right on the chin. Yes, it is.
Opening
Definitely.
round.
Yeah.
I want to make one more point about this. We saw a classic lesson of how a really terrific journalist should stand up to a bully. I don't know CNN's Caitlin Collins. I guess I'm an old timer because I've never even met her. But I watched that tape. She asked Trump at the White House about the Epstein victims. Instead of answering the question, which he doesn't want to answer, he insulted her. She didn't blanch or change expression. She just asked him again about the victims. The bully got vicious again and once again tried to insult her. Ms. Collins held her ground. She came across as a polished professional, and Trump came away as someone, James, that shockingly has something to hide.
Well, I think what Caitlin did, SEC girl, I might add, gal, I guess a woman, I guess I should say.
Woman, right.
This is okay. Whatever. I mean, talk different out here. This is an example, and so every other journalist that ever interviews him or interviews anybody else, this is the standard, and they're learning that when she correctly anticipated what he would do and how he would change the subject, and she was just laying there. And this is the new norm. And this is not just Trump because they won't get him to do any more interviews anywhere. This is like for every Republican lackey that goes on TV, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get smacked right in the mouth. And when you try to dodge, you're going to get smacked in the mouth again. If I were a Republican in Washington, I would stay off of television at all costs. I would subject myself to no interviews because you have no answers.